They told you being a man was about control, control over your emotions, your world, and your destiny. But Nietzsche would have laughed, because the truth is darker. Masculinity isn't about control, it's about confrontation. Not with the world, but with the chaos inside you. We live in an age that celebrates comfort, but Nietzsche warned that comfort kills greatness. He believed that the soul of a man is forged through struggle, not peace. That the modern man, cushioned by convenience, has lost his fire. The same fire that once made him dangerous, not to others, but to mediocrity itself. He called it the will to power, the inner force that pushes a man to rise above himself, again and again, until what remains is no longer the fragile shell of a boy, but the raw essence of creation itself. Yet in our time, that will is fading, replaced by imitation, distraction, and weakness disguised as virtue. So today, we uncover what Nietzsche saw coming more than a century ago, truths about masculinity so raw, so unsettling, that most men spend their entire lives avoiding them. These are the 10 dark truths about masculinity Nietzsche knew too well. Dark truth. Number 1. The world respects strength, not goodness. Nietzsche once wrote, "The weak are always forced to serve the strong." He didn't mean physical strength alone, he meant the strength of will, of conviction, of identity. Modern men are told to be kind, agreeable, and soft-spoken. But Nietzsche warned that a man who seeks to be loved by everyone ends up ruled by everyone. Goodness without power is fragile. It bends under pressure and calls itself virtue. Nietzsche believed that true morality is born from strength, that a man must first have the power to be dangerous before he earns the right to be good. The world may preach compassion, but it quietly bows to dominance. Dark truth. Number 2. Suffering is the birthplace of power. Out of life's school of war, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. We quote it lightly, but Nietzsche meant it as a warning. He believed that the only path to real greatness runs through pain, loss, and chaos. Most men today run from discomfort. They numb it with entertainment, validation, and distraction. But every time you escape suffering, you kill the chance to evolve. Nietzsche saw suffering as sacred, a forge that burns away illusion and weakness. The modern man, cushioned from pain, is spiritually poor. The ancient man, scarred by battle and burden, was rich in self-knowledge. You can't build a strong soul in a safe world. Dark truth number 3, individuality is the ultimate rebellion. Nietzsche despised conformity. He saw society as a machine built to crush uniqueness and reward obedience. The individual has always had to struggle, he said, to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Today, men are told exactly how to act. Too masculine is toxic, too emotional is weak. But Nietzsche's masculine ideal, the Übermensch, was a man who transcended all labels. He didn't seek permission to exist differently. He created his own values and stood alone, even when the crowd called him insane. In an age where every man copies another, true individuality is the new form of courage. Dark truth number 4, control is an illusion. Nietzsche believed that man's obsession with control is what enslaves him. The more a man tries to dominate the world around him, the more he reveals his own weakness. Because life, in Nietzsche's eyes, is chaos, unpredictable, and cruel. The strong man doesn't conquer chaos. He dances with it. He accepts that he can't command everything, but he can command himself. The modern man seeks to control women, outcomes, and fate. But Nietzsche's man learns to master his reactions, his impulses, his fears. That is where power hides, not in dominance over others, but in sovereignty over self. Dark truth. Number 5. Love is not always noble. Nietzsche had little faith in romantic idealism. He saw love not as a gentle union, but as a struggle between two wills, each trying to possess, to consume, to dominate the other. "It is not a lack of love," he wrote, "but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages." Modern men are taught that love should complete them, heal them, give them purpose. Nietzsche would laugh at that. Any man who seeks completion in another has already surrendered his strength. Real love, to him, was not dependency but respect between two complete beings. Anything less was hunger wearing the mask of affection. Dark truth. Number 6. Solitude is the furnace of masculinity. Few understood solitude the way Nietzsche did. He lived most of his life alone, walking mountains, writing in silence, misunderstood by almost everyone. He believed that solitude is not loneliness, it's purification. A man who can't stand his own company is not ready for freedom. The modern man surrounds himself with noise, people, screens, opinions, because silence terrifies him. But in that silence, Nietzsche said, the strongest men are reborn. Solitude burns away dependence. It forces a man to meet the raw truth of who he is, without validation, without applause. Dark truth number 7. Weak men create beautiful lies. Nietzsche despised self-deception more than anything. He saw that most men would rather live inside a comforting illusion than face a painful truth. Today, those illusions come dressed as optimism, as positivity, as everything will be fine. But Nietzsche believed that only the man brave enough to face the abyss, the emptiness within and around him, can ever touch reality. Weak men create stories to protect themselves from despair. Strong men stare despair in the eyes and extract meaning from it. The darker the truth, the greater the transformation that follows its acceptance. Dark truth number 8. Modern morality castrates the masculine spirit. Nietzsche once said, morality is the herd instinct in the individual. He saw modern ethics not as guidance, but as a cage, one designed to tame man's primal nature. Society tells men to suppress their ambition, their hunger, their aggression, as if those things are sins. But Nietzsche saw them as divine energies, forces that, when mastered, build civilizations. When they are suppressed, they rot into resentment. The masculine spirit was never meant to obey. It was meant to create, to challenge, to destroy the old, and make way for the new. Dark truth number 9. Great men are always misunderstood. Nietzsche knew this personally. His ideas were mocked, ignored, and twisted long after his death. Yet he understood that if everyone agrees with you, you're not thinking deeply enough. The price of greatness is isolation. The man who thinks differently will always be exiled by those who cannot. But Nietzsche saw that as proof of truth. The crowd will never love the man who refuses to bow. It fears him, and that fear, that tension between the creator and the collective, is what drives progress forward. To be misunderstood is not failure. It's confirmation that you've stepped beyond imitation. Dark truth number 10. You must die before you can be reborn. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy lies destruction, not of the world, but of the self. He wrote, "You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you become new if you have not first become ashes?" Masculinity, in its truest form, isn't about becoming tougher or richer or louder. It's about dying to everything false within you. Every belief, every comfort, every borrowed value, until only what's real remains. In the end, Nietzsche didn't try to make men comfortable, he tried to wake them up. He knew that most will never rise. They will live as echoes, not voices, as followers, not creators. But a few, a rare few, will face the chaos and carve meaning out of it. They will walk alone, bleed alone, and think alone, yet they will live as gods among men. Masculinity isn't dying, it's sleeping, buried under layers of fear, comfort, and distraction. But if you dare to question everything, even yourself, you'll feel it stir again. That ancient fire, that will to power, that voice inside that whispers, "I was not made to obey." This is the path Nietzsche saw, dark, painful, but pure, and only those who walk through that darkness can ever call themselves free. If these words struck something inside you, if they reminded you of the strength you've been hiding, then you already know what to do. Don't just watch more videos. Think deeper, live harder, become who you are. And that's Nietzsche's final message to the modern man. Stop chasing comfort, validation, or perfection. Confront your chaos, embrace your solitude, accept the pain. Because the world doesn't need more good men, it needs men who have faced their darkness and chosen to rise anyway.